Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. And if you're new or just clicked on this video, thank you very much. My name is Alexis and this is the Goddess of Daydreams Tarot. Today we're going to be doing a general reading for the collective on the energies that are coming through the full moon in Aquarius. We're going to be taking a look at the energies the collective needs to be aware of, to be open for, and cautious of during the full moon in Aquarius. Please take what resonates, and I hope you receive the insight, answers, and clarity through this reading. I'm going to be starting off with the List of Vampires Oracle to pick up the overall energies that are coming through the Aquarius full moon, and we'll go into more details with other oracles and tarot. So sit back, relax, and I hope you enjoyed these messages. This is quite a powerful time. Before we get into the full moon, it's going to be the 8/8 portal. So a lot of strong manifesting energies are going on. We're also still in Mercury retrograde. So make sure that your intentions are extra strong and clear during these times. And definitely the energy of Aquarius is a great time to work during this Leo season to bring more of that authentic, intuitive energy out of the collective for each and every individual. All right. Spirit, what do you have for the collective? Okay. Let's do one more. All right. First card we have is 39, supernatural, inexplicable, miraculous, otherworldly. I always find this card is like the most beautiful on the deck here. And then we have card 36, faith, trust, unwavering, confidence. So, when I was shuffling these cards, something about like a divine rebellion or like a rebellious behavior kind of building up in the collective. All right. One of the main energies that are coming through here is that your faith is going to strengthen your divine abilities. Whatever your faith is, or whatever you practice or believe in, you are strengthening that divine connection to you and to God or divine or the universe or to your divine team or whomever you worship. Spirit is strongly saying for this full moon to really invest on strengthening your divine abilities, your talents, your skills, and have faith that whatever divine abilities and skills that you have will carry you through whatever hard times that you are going through. I want to say trust the universe, but there's something more going on here. I'm going to have to pull up the Panther to look into more of these energies. But yeah, it's a very deep spiritual energy going on that the collective needs to highly pay attention. I feel like a lot of faith right now is being tested. Considering the chaos in the world, that's understandable. But Spirit is saying you have the magic to not only strengthen the faith within the world, but also bring some type of control or regulation to what's going on. I'm being told like for some of you, your magic will restore the faith in humanity. And maybe like when I was thinking about that word rebellion, maybe for some of you, you feel like maybe you might have to do something a little bit outside of your faith to be more connected to God. Like I'm feeling strong, like especially when I'm looking at this faith card here. Maybe for a lot of you, you are like of Christian background or Catholic, whatever the case is, and you feel that you can be more than just Catholic or Christian to reach to God. You know, you don't have to just stick by one religion in order to feel close to God. For some of you, you feel like when you do certain things that may go against your religion, you feel more closer to God. And mind you that the religion and God are two different things. You know, they may connect, but they're like two different fields. I mean, when you think about it, yeah, religion is more man-made, but the following of God is always going to be unique to every individual. All right, give me a second. Yeah, I am kind of picking up like some energies that are trying to go against whatever changes you want. I'm going to talk about these two cards first. The first one I have is stop, break, pause, stagnation. And then I have confinement, captivity, tolerance, unfreedom. So I feel as I'm looking at these two cards here, it's definitely a lot of outside forces kind of subduing your magic because it's not of their way. And if you do go against whatever teachings or practices that you have learned from whatever religion, it's like, how can I put this, Spirit? It's like you don't want to go against the people, but you also don't want to go against the energy between you and God. Now, how can I, Spirit, help me get these words out because this is quite a touchy subject. For centuries, and even like before centuries, like the dawn of time, I always felt like people have supernatural gifts in order to bring some type of balance within the spiritual world and this world. You know, I kind of feel like after certain divine entities and beings had left the earth, they still wanted to leave some type of essence, some type of magic, some type of divinity behind and trust a certain, certain people with this energy. So that way humanity can continue remaining connected to the divine or to the unknown or to the unseen. And, for many centuries, that was done well through priests, through witches, energies through paganism and such. But then when the religion came in, that was just, almost eradicated, almost wiped off the world. And that was shown as being demonic. It's of the devil. This is not of God. But it's a really, hold on, how can I put this? It's a really messed up energy because before Christianity, before Islam, before Judaism, we had other religions and such. And at the end of the day, these religions did believe in a higher being. They were just, additional deities that came from this higher being that they will worship. And I still believe strongly those deities still connect to us to this day. And now, as we are progressing in society and more people are remembering that connection, it's putting a threat to certain religious backgrounds because with religion, it's more about control rather than connection. And with this stop and confinement, it definitely gives the energy of control. If you don't believe and do as we say, you will be punished. And for a lot of you, you're trying to navigate not being punished, not being penalized, or, looked down upon. But you carry a special energy and connection to the divine. And you know that there is something that you have to do with it in order to bring, strengthen this connection or anchor into this world. Excuse me. You're going to have to you have to go against the grain with this situation. There are plenty of those like you that are waiting to be found, that are waiting to be connected, that are waiting to be awakened. You're going to have to kind of, stand against the Goliath of religion and stand for yourself, stand in what you believe in, stand for the divine gifts that you have been given. This is like it's like for the collective, you are going to be showing the world the new definition of faith, the new definition of sovereignty, of and faith in the divine. All right. Spirit, is that how you want? Okay, yeah. Sorry, this is like a really, really like strong and deep reading. So I'm trying to like really get through my words carefully. Because it is quite a sensitive subject. And there's still people that tend to look down on those who practice outside of like mainstream religion. Unfortunately, like I remember seeing the other day, like there were people texting and showing online how they want to be burning witches. And I'm like, you need to chill. Like, you don't know what their connection to God is like. It's not going to be, it's not going to be the same as yours. You have to respect their ways. Next, I have is profession, expertise, eminence, talent. I see for a lot of you, during this full moon, you are definitely going to be connecting to these divine talents and asking how to enhance them and work with them into the real world. For some of you, I see you probably might be going to like either Reiki healers, tarot readers. A lot of you, I see you might go into studying like herbs and like being of like natural medicine. For some of you, it's definitely studying ancient occult and making sure that that knowledge is passed down and preserved. There's going to be a specific calling to each and every one of you that your supernatural talents are going to be needed in these fields. And when you do that, it's definitely, again, strengthening the faith of not only like the magic and the divine within this world, but the connection to the divine. And then last, I have is merit making, goodness, humanness, morality. Okay, I'm going to have to close this window because there's a crying baby. So with this merit making, this is pure devotion to the divine in your own way, or how as you see fit. Now that you are understanding the magic and the compatibility and capability that you are to use it for or to work with, if that just made any sense in my head. Anyway, you're understanding your talents and abilities, and you know that they are to be used for good. For some of you, I'm pretty sure you have heard stories like being cautious of, working in certain fields or careers, like especially in entertainment, in music, and other fields where there could be quite sketchy demonic energies going on. I'm pretty sure you have heard a story or two about people doing certain rituals and, doing certain connections and energies to help them grow and expand their empire or their career. But it's through like the energies of evil, of like the dark cult and stuff. You do not want to go down this path. And I do see for a lot of you, you won't be going down this path. If anything, you are creating a new path for people to come into or to follow when it comes to connecting to your light, connecting to your divine talents, and connecting to the divine that is within us. So you guys are definitely going to be setting a good example. Let's go into more detail with some tarot. Okay. Let's see. What else, Spirit? Spirit, do you want me to... Okay, this is the second time this card has come in reverse. Very interesting. All right, let me get one more. All right, very nice, very nice. All right, for the card stop, I have the Seven of Pentacles along with the Five of Cups. So with this energy, I feel like for a lot of you, you have taken a pause on maybe some type of spiritual practice. Maybe for some of you, you're taking a pause, going to church, going to a synagogue or mosque, whatever environment of faith and practice that you do, and just kind of assessing the energies around. You are probably not liking some of the things that you have been taught or conditioned to grow up. And you're just like, I do want to remain, faithful to God, but I don't want to follow certain energies that don't align with my spirit or align with my talents. Like, how are you supposed to go to church and feel you're connecting to God when someone says, oh, burning sage is of the devil, having crystals is of the devil, using tarot cards is of the devil? When you use these things and you feel more connected to the divine more than ever. So yeah, it's like a bit of a conflict going on here. And you're just like, do I continue listening to this rhetoric, or do I listen to my intuition and follow the divine guidance that is there for me? I feel like for a lot of you, it's like, I want to show the world you can have the faith, but you don't need to be in a religion in order to have faith. Faith is already naturally in us. Faith is already been provided with God and such. And if my faith is telling me to use my divine gifts to help others, then, that is a direction I cannot ignore from God. Oh, thank you, Spirit. Okay, so yeah, I feel like a lot of you, it's definitely a direction that God has given you, but you feel like if you listen, it's going to go against your family, your church, your beliefs. But this direction is being given to you for a reason. It's a test. It's a test from the Lord to know if you're listening. If you really want to work with the divine energies that are within you. This is not just only God too. This is also your divine team and your ancestors, because through your ancestors, you are able to have these divine gifts, and they wish to know, what are you going to do with them? Are you going to kind of leave them to waste? Are you going to ignore them, or are you going to use them to help yourself and others? Next, with confinement, I have the Two of Wands. I feel for a lot of you, you are going to be walking away from an energy that is not making you feel like in your full faith, and you're figuring out what's going to be the next direction for you to go. Like, you're not going to allow this religious confinement hold you back from having your divine experience within this world. You know that there are different outlets and directions. You're trying to figure out which one is going to be best for you. Let me do an extra card for this Two of Wands. All right, so with the Two of Wands, I have the Four of Pentacles. So with this, you want to make sure you are feeling secure in your faith, in your belief, in your practices. You know, to get out of this confinement. You want to strengthen the foundation between you and God. But for some of you, you feel like you can do it without religion. You will just have to have your own unique foundation to create with God and to create with your divine, to connect with your divine team and to connect to your divine talents. Excuse me. Next, with profession, I have the Ace of Swords. Now, I got the Ace of Swords in reverse with the Lionsgate reading, Lionsgate portal reading. So I'm kind of surprised, but I'm not surprised to see this energy again, because it seems that there is an energy that is trying to, what's the word I was using yesterday? Kind of mess with your mental, make you feel that what you're trying to pursue or believe is not of God or is not of truth. Someone kind of wants to put lies to you or manipulate your mindset into thinking that if you stay in a religion or if you stay with a certain group, you are going to make God proud. But intuitively, again, you don't feel that connection. You don't feel proud. You don't feel that like special spark between you and God. You feel that you can find it in another way, and then maybe in another religion or in another spiritual practice, and that needs to be respected. But someone here is not respecting that. This is when the control issue comes in. I need a certain amount of people in this group, in this prayer, in this, whatever it is, so that I can feel good about myself. This has nothing to do with God. This has more to do with ego. Let me get an extra card for the Ace of Swords reverse. Yeah, with the Ace of Swords, I have the Two of Swords. Spirit is saying you need to block out this person's intentions, words, and energy. They are interfering with your divine gifts. And for some of these people, they do sense that you are connected to the divine more stronger than them and that you are divinely gifted. And, it's a sense of jealousy, like, why them and not me? Spirit is saying you must block out these person's words and go within your mind and within your intuition. Trust what your intuition is saying. Listen to your inner voice and allow it to guide you through whatever decisions that you need to make. Don't allow any other influences to come within your mind and within your connection. This is between you and God. And then last, with merit making, I have the Star card here. I love to see this at the end. Not only it's an Aquarian energy, but it also goes back to what I was saying, that you are being a positive example of someone who is following God in their own way, through, restoring their faith or showing faith through their own way. You are creating a new world where you can believe in God in any way or connect to God in any way. Just because you have these divine gifts or you follow God in a different, path than other religions doesn't make you evil, doesn't make you a sinner, doesn't make you, someone that worships the devil. You are of, it's pure intention and pure love going on here. And you're showing the world that through pure intention and pure love and faith in your divine talents and your connection to the divine, then all is well. Let me pull an extra card for the star. Oh, I love this. With the star, I have the Three of Cups. You will be reading you will be meeting the right people at the right time and enjoying the celebration and connection and understanding that everyone has with the divine. I see a lot of happiness, a lot of joy. I do see also with the star and the Three of Cups, a lot of restoration of practices that have been forgotten or have been looked down to deemed as like demonic or satanic. No, you're bringing a new light to these practices, to these connections, showing the world and showing people that they are not of evil, they are not of satanic. It's all out of pure love and joy. And I do see also with this Three of Cups, the numbers of people with divine talents will continue to rise and continue to remain strong. I see, I see something very beautiful at the end of this, that people are not going to be afraid of worshiping God in their own way. It's going to be more celebrated. It's going to be more open. And as we are in this age of Aquarius, or about to be in the age of Aquarius, this definitely shows that energy of like through your own divine uniqueness and spiritual talents, you will be showing the world how to, remain faithful to the divine and to yourself and to whatever causes and energies that you decide to dedicate yourself with. This is a very positive energy coming in for the collective. Just continue to remain true to yourself, true to your vision, and connect and strengthen and trust your intuition. With that said, let's wrap up this reading with some final messages from the club. It's a really beautiful reading. Even though I was kind of struggling a little bit at the beginning, I'm very glad that I did this. It is quite beautiful. It's just, I see an improvement in the spiritual community. And I also see, like, with this is going to make the universe extremely happy. Seeing the faith being restored and being strengthened in different ways and forms. We got some really powerful cards here. So the first one I have is the fight. And then the last one I have is the thunder. So I'm reading these two together because this is also divine letting you know to continue making your own unique, aligning to your own unique practices or aligning to the right practices for you, because you will be divinely protected. This is going to be now your divine team strengthened by your faith in them. And then through that energy, they're going to be able to conquer and fight whatever negative forces that try to come between you and God. So, especially with this stop and confinement card here, whatever energies that are trying to confine you into living life in a certain way and believing God in a certain way, those energies are going to be eradicated, because your divine team sees that you are, making the conscious decision and strengthening your faith to God and to them. They're not going to allow any demonic force or negativity get in the way. And especially with this thunder card here, this is like purely divine, making sure that you are protected in whatever path or direction you go towards. Because again, with this Aquarian energy, a new world is being born, and spirit needs like heavily people connected to their divine strength and talents and ability to be present in order to bring in these new energies, new light codes, new downloads into this world. A lot of us have a unique mission. We have to follow through it. So whatever enemy that tries to come to stop us or confine us, they will be struck down. And with that said, I hope you guys enjoyed this reading. Please give it a like, share, and subscribe to my channel for more insights and messages. I would truly, I would truly appreciate it for the love and the support. And thank you to the new and current viewers and subscribers for coming back to my channel to hear my messages. I hope my reading has given you the insight and clarity that you need in your spiritual journey. And if you feel that this reading did not resonate, no worries. Feel free to check out the other readings on my channel. There's definitely a message there for you. So my collective, definitely take the time during the full moon in Aquarius and this Lionsgate portal to really ground into your divine gifts, set the foundation for your faith, and continue to feed it and let it grow. Again, don't worry if for those that are trying to come to lecture you or to tell you how to believe in God, God is going to handle them. And as how God sees fit. But continue to strengthen your faith and your divine abilities. The right energies in the right places and mindsets will come to find you and guide you. A lot of you are about to be in the star energy, bringing restoration of faith and magic into this world, or you're restoring the faith and magic, or the faith in magic into this world, however you see fit. But a lot of you are definitely here to bring down new energies into the new world, and Spirit has a lot of faith in you to do so. And with that said, stay safe and have a good day.